Hello. There's been a lot of things happening in a very short amount of time, just in the past 2 weeks. So if you've heard crazy rumors about me, most of them might be true, some might not. I'm just going to make a blanket statement that some of them might not be true, but a lot of them have been true. In the past 2 weeks, while I was in Austin filming more for my movie and somehow I think breaking the record for most blood in a horror movie, yay, and I'm trying to calculate the numbers to prove that. That's a whole another story not relating to anything to do with this. Again, we'll get into that at a very much later date. And then I was in the hospital because blood was in my eyes. So if you saw a picture online of me with the most horrifying, oh, I talked about this. God, this is so weird. I don't even remember that I did an update talking about that. Because immediately after that, I get a text from my mom saying that my grandma's not doing well. And so I have to book a flight to go out to Korea. And literally the next day after that, my grandma passed away. And I know this probably seems like I'm being very blasé about this update. But in reality, the trip that I went on and the ability to go out there, it was very hard to do. But at the same time, the experience was incredibly cathartic, and the way that my Korean family was honoring my grandma was extremely helpful in the healing process, and I was able to move through it. And also, just like it was just a crazy, arduous time with the lack of sleep, the blood in my eyes, and then after I got there, I got an ear infection, and then I experienced firsthand the wonder that was the Korean healthcare system. There's so much that went on in this past week and a half, and I would love to go over all the details, but I actually have talked about this now twice, both to the members and also on the podcast. And I know I make the disclaimer being like, hey, listen to the podcast. But honestly, we weren't even able to keep up with those episodes because this just all happened so suddenly. So I do apologize for not having videos, but at the same time, I kind of don't apologize for not having videos because I think all of you can understand that family will come first. Family always comes first, and family always should come first. If your family matters to you, that is, but mine very much does. And I very much matter to my family. So I was very happy to be able to just kind of go and be there for them. I wasn't able to be there when my grandma passed, but I was able to be there during the ceremony and during all of the different things that I had to do, and the cremation, burying her, and it was really, really healing and really good. And so I'm back. And I do want to get back into videos because I really do feel good. I feel very, very at peace with it. I feel like so much has happened in the past 2 weeks that comparatively, it's just like one of those moments where I really like to appreciate, what I'm able to do. And I'm so glad that I still, to this day, get joy out of what I do. And I still really love waking up and being able to do this. And I wanna capitalize on that joy, but that doesn't mean that I'm like gonna destroy myself trying to get back into videos. It's gonna be an easing process. I want to finish Amnesia so bad. It's so good. It's terrifying, and it's just like it's captivating. And there's so many other games, obviously, that I want to play. There's even some recordings that we made that I wasn't able to get up while I was away because obviously I was away. And there's another story in there about how I lost my bag on the flight over. So I arrived in Korea with no luggage. I didn't have any clothes. I didn't have any toiletries. I didn't have anything. I stole the pillow from the airline. Like it's kind of nuts. So I'll link in the description. There's an episode of Distractable that I think came out today. If not, I'll update it when it does come out. But it literally was just me basically talking about this entire experience in greater detail if you want to know the details. The short version of it is hospital. My grandma passed away, was able to be there in Korea for the funeral, was able to be there with my family in Korea, was able to share the documentary that I made for my mom, which did have my grandma in it and talked a lot about my grandpa. And I was able to show that to my family in a very poorly translated version of it, but I was able to do that. And so that was really special, and I'm glad I took the time to do that. But I am back, and there's a lot to do, but I'm loving doing it. So I'm going to keep this relatively short. Remember, if you want the full version of the story, it's down there in the description. It's not a push for the podcast, and enough of you already know it exists. I know that's not what this is about. It's just if you want to get the full story. Yeah, just thank you guys so much for understanding, and thank you for being here for me. And thank you for, just allowing me to do this crazy thing that I do. So thank you. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.